Dive kicks have got to be one of the strongest tools that you could ever give a character in a fighting game. And it's a part of the reason why some of the best characters in the past in Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5, and now Street Fighter 6 have dive kicks. And that isn't to say that just because you have a dive kick makes you a very good character, but it is a part of why some characters are considered such strong characters. And this video is particularly special because we're going to be talking about Alex's dive kick. Now, is it good? Is it bad? Well, we're going to get into the meat and bones on if it is good or if it is bad. Just to give you a little early on impressions from me, I think it's okay. It's all right. It's kind of strong, but it's pretty bad too. So it's medium. Keep it at a medium level, you know? Compared to all the other characters that actually have a dive kick in this game, well, I think Alex's might be the worst. But it's also kind of the best. Let's just get into it, okay? Let's just get into it. So before we talk about Alex's dive kick in particular, we have to talk about all the other ones in this game. Now, to be completely technical, and there are only 3 characters in the game that have actual dive kicks, and that is Cammy, Juri, and Jamie. Everyone else, you don't do like a special input for them, you know? They're like unique moves, I guess you would classify them as, instead of actual special moves. Whereas Juri, Cammy, and Jamie, they're actually special moves. They're not just you like hold down and then a button or something and then the supposed dive kick comes out. No. That's not the case with these characters. These characters actually have legitimate dive kicks in their toolset. So if we take a look at a character like Cammy, I think her dive kick is probably the strongest in this game, particularly because if you do it on block, let's see if I can, there you go. It's +4, it can be up to +5. Let me see if I can do that for you. There you go. Yeah, I think it can be up to +5 maximum. I doubt you can get +6, but I think she's the only one that actually could get like a super plus dive kick like this, which allows her to kind of abuse with moves like, I don't know, her stand heavy punch. Probably not her crouch heavy punch. I think that's turn stealing, but stand heavy punch for sure. Or she could just do like her mediums. This is really strong for her because not only is it super plus on block, but if your opponent doesn't block, +6, so she could do like a stand medium. Instead of just doing something like that, you could get a stronger combo, which is, since she's +11 here, she could do something like stand heavy punch. So the best thing that she could probably do is something like this. Or she could go into her DP. There's a lot of things that she could do off of making a dive kick super plus. But the most important things that you got to know is that on block, it's really good, and on hit, it's also really, really good. That's what makes her dive kick super strong. She could also do it off of Hooligan as well. Essentially, it's really good because you can mix up not only your jumps, but your offense. So it could be like super plus on block dive kicks, or it could be a super plus on hit move that she can convert into other crazy stuff. I feel like that's why her dive kick is the strongest. But if we go to another character that has a dive kick, I think the best example on a dive kick that seems very kind of weak is probably Jamie's. For one, he can't do it if he doesn't have one drink. If he doesn't have a drink, like, you don't even have to worry about it at all. And then when he does get a drink, he can finally do the dive kick. But the thing about his dive kick is it's not ever going to be as plus as Cammy's. +2 is the highest that he's going to be able to get. So you don't really have to worry about Jamie's dive kick too much because if it hits you, he doesn't really get much off of it. It's not too scary. It's not as scary as Cammy's. But if he has one drink and he goes for EX, here he could get a combo, which it's all right. It's not bad. It's not very good. But if we go to another character, the final character that has an actual dive kick, which is Juri, hers is not that great compared to Cammy's at least. You could make it safe, where you're only -3 here. You don't get anything on block, you can't make a plus or anything like that, but what you can do is that if it does hit, you can actually go for stuff like that. which makes her plus, and it's a not too bad of damage. If she goes for EX, you can get a combo, kind of like Jamie's. But I don't think she gets anything off of EX here. Yeah, it's still not very good. It's pretty bad. I don't want to say hers is worse than Jamie's just because Jamie needs to get like one drink to even do it. I wanted to say that Jamie's was the worst out of the three, but I think her and Jamie might actually be tied for not having a very great dive kick. I think Cammy's literally the only one that has like a super good dive kick in this game. Now, since we've gone over the traditional characters that actually have a special inputting dive kick, let's go into a character that they kind of have a dive kick, but kind of it's weird. Lily actually has a sort of dive kick as well. She needs stocks, kind of like Jamie as well, to even do the dive kick. Yeah, she can still do it without stocks. Now, the difference with her having stocks and not having stocks, I don't really know, to be quite honest. I don't know. Maybe it's better pressure situations. I'm not sure, but all you gotta know is that her dive kick is it's not that great at all. I think the strongest thing that she has that they gave her is what? I think she could go for like 2 now or something, right? Yeah. It's just gimmicks. It's a gimmick. Yeah, there's not much to talk about with Lily's. So let's go into another character that has one. Blanca's is the only one where he kind of has one, but kind of doesn't. It's only if he jumps back. I'm sure you've seen a lot of like really good Blanca players. They go for the jump. So the jump will cover the throw if the opponent goes for a throw, and then if they go for that, they could get a combo afterwards. Yeah, this is a really good option that they gave this character. I guess I will classify it as a dive kick just because he is still kind of diving towards you, but he can only do it when he jumps back. Akuma's is very classic. Akuma is a classic dive kick that all you gotta do is hold down and medium kick. I think you could do it off of his demon flip as well, right? Yeah. His demon flip's the only one that gives him a lot of different ranges. You have to use it at a sort of close range to even make it like plus 4. His demon flip is where it becomes scary, and I think here is where it actually becomes kind of comparable to Cammy's. His dive kick doesn't knock you down, so that's what makes Akuma's dive kick actually really fucking good. Now to go to another character that has a dive kick. So the next character that has one is Mai. Mai's is, of course she has a dive kick because why not? So she could make it a -1. I don't think there's a world where she could ever make it plus here. It's not the best, but yeah, compared to everyone else, hers is pretty bad as well. I would say the one that has still a very strong dive kick in this game that you probably can't beat is Cammy's. Cammy would probably be first. Akuma would be a second, if not first. Now we get to the character that also has a dive kick. Yours truly, Alex. Alex has a dive kick. So this dive kick is probably, I touched on it a little bit earlier. This is probably the best and worst dive kick in this game because of a few reasons. So the first reason that I'm going to say on why this dive kick is probably it's like one of the best and also the worst is its combo game. In Street Fighter V, if you landed this, no matter if it was super high up or super low, you were always going to get one type of frame advantage, and that was to be able to at least link into a jab combo into heavy knee. Oh, not heavy knee, EX knee. If it was a counter hit, you could go for something like a stand medium punch afterwards. So this would combo. You would do this, and then you would do this, and then this. So he still has this. He doesn't have it if you hit it from a high range. And that's what makes Alex's dive kick so unique here. The levels of height still applies to all the other dive kicks as well, where the lower it is, the more plus it is. But Alex takes this to an insane level. Just like in Street Fighter V, if they block this move, you're gonna explode. You're gonna explode because here, yeah, you're -11. So yeah, I would say you're negative infinity. In Street Fighter V, same thing, you were negative infinity. On counter hit, you only got a medium punch or on regular hit, you always got a light punch into EXD. I think the best thing you get here is a throw mix-up, because since you're +3, you could get, if I'm going to press like a button, or if I'm going to press a throw or command throw, you know? But if you go lower, you can make it up to +11. I think you can make it more plus than that. You can make it up to +13 the lower you are. On hit, of course, on hits. On hit, you could get some crazy combos that lead into a lot. So that makes like zoning a lot more scary against Alex, because he could actually do something from this range. A lot of characters can't really do much, but Alex in particular. Okay, so from this range, Alex actually gets some crazy shit. And then you could convert into something like this, you know? Which is crazy. It's really, really good. But on block, this is not so great. You could make it super minus though. Not minus, you can make it like a lot less minus. There you go, -1. For the most part, in Burnout, you can make this a lot more abusable. I don't know why you would want to go for this in Burnout. I guess maybe if they're choosing to like throw fireballs, you could still throw it out there. I want to say that it's not a very bad option to go for, simply because in Street Fighter V, I always used it to counter one move or a few moves pretty specifically. You're threatening the opponent from throwing fireballs. If they know that you can punish them from full screen into stuff like this, it's insane. In Street Fighter V, he didn't have this. It didn't matter what height you really did this in. You would only be constricted to 1 or 2 different kind of combos. But in this game, the lower you hit them, you can convert into a whole lot of different like combo routes. Now, is it better than let's say Cammy's dive kick or Akuma's dive kick? Hell no. On hit, yes, I do think it's better than Cammy or Akuma's, but the reason why their dive kicks are so good is because they could do it off of like this range. Alex, he could do it immediately, but it's not good. I would say you would want to use this against moves that are like, for example, I've experimented against Guile specifically. Guiles really love to use stand medium kick as an anti-air. Alex is doing it super early here, but if I do like this would normally, if he goes for like a regular jump, if you go for dive, Alex beats that out cleanly. I used it to beat like Balrog's like stand medium punch anti-air in 5 a lot. So in this game, it's the same concept. You want to use it against characters that if they don't have DPs and they go for like Guile's crouch heavy punch. Yeah, you see there? If they go for this, they get cooked. If they have a DP and they're not ready for it, or if they're just not using their DP at all and going for their like normal anti-airs, dive is a very good way to blow these options up, because it just ruins the timing for the anti-air. And also another thing that I didn't really mention is that Alex could actually use this to get out of the corner. Obviously in this game compared to Street Fighter V, this option is a lot worse, primarily because Drive Rush exists. Any character in the game could just punish this for free. I love getting out of the corner with this move in 5, but in this game, it's a lot more risky. I haven't found a way you could use this dive in combos. The only way I have found this to be usable is against like Kimberly's run. It's not even like a combo, it's just like a little punish. It's not really that great. You go for the dive. That's about it. That's really about it. That's the only way I've been able to incorporate Alex's dive. Compared to everyone else in this game, I do think if I were to classify his dive kick compared to everyone else's, maybe Jamie's is a bit better just because he can be like safer, but he doesn't really get a whole lot of reward, but also his isn't that risky. So you could make the argument that the best dive kicks in the game are Cammy, Akuma, and Jamie. You could make the argument that Alex isn't third. Jamie's is better than Juri's, and that's why I would say probably it would be Cammy, Akuma, Jamie, and then Alex, or it could be Cammy, Akuma, Alex, and then Jamie. It's a lot of risk, but the reward you actually get from using this stupid crackhead flip a coin move, it's really good, but it's also really bad. Compared to like Cammy's dive kick or Akuma's dive kick, where it's if your opponent blocks it and you just so happen to mess up the spacing to be negative, you don't explode, should I say, as much as like Alex. To summarize everything up, Alex's dive is probably the burst. It's probably the third best dive kick in the game, considering the reward that you get off of actually landing the hit. You could make it minus off of a few situations as well. Minus enough to not get punished, I mean. You don't see a lot of Alex players using it, unfortunately. But that's primarily because it's so damn risky. That's where we're at. Alex's dive kick is very underutilized. It's a pretty good dive kick, and it's probably the third best compared to everyone else's. Obviously, you can't beat the characters that actually were designed with a dive kick in mind, like Cammy and Akuma, but it's here to use, and I think people should use it more, especially in projectile matchups, since Alex, it's the bane of my existence, and it's the bane of Alex's existence, because you can't really do anything like EX Stomp to get around them. That's about it. That's about it. I hope you boys enjoyed the video. The next thing that I'm cooking up is I'm going to do some modern gaming pretty soon. So watch out for the streams for that, and I'll have a video on that pretty soon as well. With that being said, I hope you boys enjoyed the video. I hope you have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Have a good rest of your day.